Hey guys, Lindsay McCoy here of Mama Aligned, and I'm going to show you the iliacus release and how we can kind of morph it into a Walters. So having your mom's, I do this non-pregnant as well because it's just a great exercise and release. We're going to do an iliacus release. You're going to get a bolster, and then you're going to come down to the ground. So for pregnant moms, often the easiest way is to sit on the bolster, scoot down to the side, and then roll down onto the back. So I found that to be the easiest. I was doing this through 42 weeks of pregnancy, so my last time. So what you're going to do is you're going to get the bolster under the booty, but if you can scoot the bolster towards your feet a little bit so that your pelvis can relax into a post tilt. So I know I talk a lot about neutral pelvis, but we want neutral pelvis kind of in relation to the femur. So if I were to find my ASISs, my anterior superior iliac spine, and then my pubic symphysis, those in this post tilt are neutral relative to the femur. So we're not going to force the tilt. We're just going to put the bolster in a place so that we can kind of settle into that post tilt. So sometimes it takes a little exploration to find that place. And we may find as we hang out here for a while that gravity will allow that more and more. And then one thing I like to play with is if you can grab, I keep sliding, I have sliding pants on. If you can grab your knees, pull them in. Obviously if there's a belly, you'd go to the sides. See how your pelvis tucks. And then slowly bring your feet back to the ground and notice when your pelvis comes with your leg. You know, I get right about here and I can feel my pubic bone, my ASIS, I can feel it, you can probably see it, start to move along with it. So my computer just went to sleep. We don't have as much give between the leg and the pelvis as we maybe should, so you see it's coming along. So that's all that tightness here. So we're going to release the iliacus by coming back and finding that post tilt and just hanging out here for a while. Notice if the ribs are thrusted up and just allowing the ribs to relax down, allowing the pubic bone to relax this way without forcing it. And then this is just a good constructive rest position. I usually have the shins vertical, and you just hang out here. Notice if the knees are starting to flop open and try to keep the knees on top of the ankles. If the knees want to go out and it seems like a lot of work for someone to hold their knees on top of their ankles, bring the feet out a little bit and then let the knees come in because it's more important for the knees to be in line with the pelvis than the feet. So it's hard to see from my side angle, but I'm just moving my feet out to allow my knees to stay in line with my hips. And then once this feels comfortable and okay, I've been playing with just extending the legs out a little bit, not letting the pelvis come along for the ride. Keep the pelvis in its nice post tilt here. And then just see what happens when you start to extend the legs long. And for me, this is when my knees really want to flop open. So that's why I bring the feet wide so that I can keep the knees in line with the hips. And then just feel all that stuff. And I encourage people to not focus so much on what they feel because I feel like we get hyper-focused on where should I be feeling this. And just, if you can find this position, find kind of hips, knees under hips, you're going to, feel it where you need to feel it, I guess. So I let the palms relax up. And then if the hips don't come along with it, you can extend the legs even wider. Good stuff. Just keep allowing the pelvis to come back this way. Good. And the next one I like to do at the same time is hug the knees in. I was doing this 42 weeks, so I had the knees really nice and wide to make space for the belly. And then you'll hug going in, keeping the pelvis post tilted. Extend the other leg long and just let it go. Knee stays don't do the bending yet, just keep the knee long. And then you slowly move the leg left to right. And sometimes the in actually feels a little bit like work, but really work into that space. I'll see people's foot trying to do the motion versus actually initiating from their hip. So we're releasing all this stuff. We get really tight here from being in this chair position all the time. So we really want to work the ability to extend the hip behind us. That will help the pelvic floor to be functional with our gait, with moving and walking. And then flip to the other side. Take a couple breaths with the knees in. And extend the other one. In and out. And all this stuff. This is just kind of a nice, relaxing thing to go through every day or every couple days to just get all this stuff worked out. And then maybe come back into your iliacus release. Allow your pelvis to tilt. And see, maybe you can extend your legs even longer this time. And that is it. Thank you, thank you.